Now we can do another LSAT logic game. We're still using the June 2007 LSAT that's available as a free PDF file if you download it from lsac.org. We're doing the second game. We're doing questions 6 through 10. And we find that there are exactly 3 films: Greed and Harvest and Limelight. And they're all being shown at a film festival on Thursday and on Friday and on Saturday. Each film is shown at least once during the festival, but never more than once on a given day. We can't really sketch that condition, and so what we do is we bring a highlighter to the test and we highlight these general conditions. They're going to be important, but they can't really be drawn out. On each day, at least one film is shown, so we can remind ourselves of that. Films are shown once at a time, and the following conditions apply. On Thursday, Harvest is shown and no film is shown after it on that day. So we'll put it down low and we'll say this is the last thing that can happen on Thursday. On Friday, either Greed or Limelight, but not both, is shown and no film is shown after it on that day. And so that gives us both Greed and Limelight as possible enders, but not both of them. And on Saturday, either Greed or Harvest, but not both, is shown and no film is shown after it on that day. So we put Greed or Harvest as the possibilities to end that day. Now we're going to let the nerds teach us about the game on the first question. Which of the following could be a complete and accurate description of the order in which the films are shown in the festival? And so we can keep track of our answers the way we would on the paper and pencil test, where we'd cross out the entire answer as soon as it proved itself to be wrong. Well, on Thursday, Harvest is shown and no film was shown after it on that day. Answer A has Thursday with Limelight and Harvest. Answer B has Thursday, Harvest only. Answer C has Thursday, Harvest only. Answer D has Thursday, Greed, Harvest, and then Limelight. Harvest isn't last, so D is wrong. And then E says Thursday, Greed, and then Harvest. Harvest is last. On Friday, either Greed or Limelight, but not both, is shown and no film is shown after it on that day. Greed or Limelight has to be last. On answer A, Friday has Limelight alone. On answer B, it has Greed and then Limelight, and they can't both be there, so B is wrong. Answer C, Friday is Limelight alone. Answer D was already wrong, and answer E has Friday, Limelight, and then Harvest, and that can't be the last day, so E is wrong. We have to be careful about that on these types of questions, because very often we'll get a situation where a condition violates 2 different answers for 2 different reasons. And if we stop after the first answer, we're going to seemingly have 2 right answers at the end, and then we've got to go through all the conditions again, and that's a big waste of time. On Saturday, either Greed or Harvest, but not both, is shown and no film is shown after it on that day. Greed or Harvest have to be last. We're down to A and C. Answer A has Saturday, Harvest alone, and answer C has Saturday, Limelight, and then Greed at the end. So both of those answers satisfy our condition. We have to go to that vague condition that we highlighted. We have to recognize that each film is shown at least once. Answer A has Limelight and Harvest, Limelight and Harvest. We're missing Greed. This is the LSAT. We need Greed. So the answer is C. Let's see what it looks like. Thursday is Harvest. Friday is Limelight. And then Saturday is Limelight and then Greed. It's nice to see what a right answer looks like. Number 7. Which one of the following cannot be true? And this is another one of those capital letter words that become invisible in the middle of the test. So you bring a highlighter to the test and you flip through each section as you begin and you look for the capital letter words. They're really easy to look for because they're capital letter words, and then you highlight them and they don't become invisible. Which of the following cannot be true? Answer A. Harvest is the last film shown on each day of the festival. Well, it could be last here, and it could be last here, but we just discovered it can't be last here. The nerds are nice people. They asked what cannot be true, and they made the answer A. Should we tell nobody about the 4 wrong answers? Nobody cares. It's possible we can take advantage of the answers because they told us they're all possibilities, so if we're still uncertain about something, we can see if it was possible on question 7 and the wrong answers. Number 8. If limelight is never shown again during the festival once greed is shown, then which of the following is the maximum number of film showings that could occur during the festival? So we want to put greed late, and we want the maximum number of films. Well, we can't have harvest, but we could have limelight. And do you notice how we're building on our old sketch? Don't be surprised if there's a teaching process going on in the game. Well, we could put limelight here, and we're trying to get as many films as we can, so we can put an H there. And then we've already got an H there, and we can put another L there. We can't put a G because it has to be after the L. So the maximum is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We shouldn't be surprised when the nerds ask us for the maximum answer that the maximum answer isn't the maximum answer 7. But we shouldn't be surprised if it's the almost maximum answer of 6. Question 9. If greed is shown exactly 3 times, well, we've got greed here, and now we've got to put greed here, and they told us it's all 3 times, so let's put greed here. Harvest is shown exactly twice. Well, there's a harvest, and there's a harvest, and we've eliminated harvest. Notice how we're building on our last sketch again. See how there's a teaching process in the game? And limelight is shown exactly once. Well, here we've got it twice, and so we don't know which one of those it's going to be. It can't be here because of greed. Which one of the following must be true? All 3 films are shown on Thursday. Well, we don't know about limelight, so that's not a must be true. Exactly 2 films are shown on Saturday, but we don't know about limelight, so that's not a must be true. So essentially A and B are equivalent answers. They can't both be right. They both must be wrong. C. Limelight and harvest are both shown on Thursday, but we don't know about limelight again. So A and C are definitely equivalent answers. They can't both be right. Answer D, greed is the only film shown on Saturday, but we don't know about limelight, so B and D are definitely equivalent answers. They can't both be right. Look at answer E. Harvest and greed are both shown on Friday. Well, of course. Why did we waste all of our time telling nobody about A, B, C, and D? Because they were could-be days of Thursday and Saturday, and our must-be day was Friday. That's how you speed yourself up on the game, is you use the could-be, must-be approach, and if it's a must-be question, it's going to be about your must-be day, and you look for Friday, and you find E, and you don't tell nobody about the wrong answers. 10. If limelight is shown exactly 3 times, now we're going all out for limelight. Okay, so now we got limelight here, we don't have greed. And harvest is shown exactly twice. Well, harvest is here, but we're not sure whether it's here or here. And greed is shown exactly once. Well, it can't be here, but it could be here, and it could be here, because we don't know about this GH. It could be a second H here, could be a second H there, could be the G here, could be the G there. We're not sure. Then which of the following is a complete and accurate list of all of the films that could be the first film shown on Thursday? Well, the first film can't be H because that has to be the last film, so A, C, and E are gone. B and D both have limelight, and the could be, which is why it's a could be question, is G, and answer D has greed and limelight. The nerds are nice people. Testing for the public. Nonprofit since 1985. Nobody makes things easier.